yeah, I've tried being employed, and I feel like I'm more productive when I'm thinking, not being told what to do at this point and this point. So yeah, and also I'm a visionary being. So I love to start things and see them flourish. So in a room that I'm not given the opportunity to do that, I feel like I'm chained.
Welcome back to the Bold Path podcast, where we lean into inspiring stories of entrepreneurs. I am your host, Lucy Wanjiko-Jenga. Today, I'm excited we are joined by a tech guru who also has such a unique name. So I can't wait to learn from her, to listen in and lean into her journey as an entrepreneur and get to, learn and take it all in. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
Yeah. Vas.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself with your full name.
Okay, thank you. I'm Versitloghen Nyambura Muthoni, but people call me Vas because they find my first name quite a little bit hard to let's say pronounce. Yes. I'm an entrepreneur, and I have a solid business background in tech, consultancy, and service delivery. I've been championing for building accountable systems both in the public and private sector, and generally, and youth empowerment majorly. Yeah.
Wow. What's the name of your company?
Vas Concepts Kenya.
Okay. Good. So what do you do here at Vas Concepts Kenya? Why, as in that name? You're sure your mom gave you? Didn't change at some point?
No, actually, I don't think I'm a little creative, but in terms of names, I don't think I am, because I named my son Gian, and I'm like, I looked for all the other names I could call him, and Gian, a 4-letter word. So my mom is quite creative. She speaks German and French, so I think that's where she got the inspiration, and also having worked in the service industry herself, majorly in 4 or 5-star hotels before my birth. So I think that's where I got her inspiration here and there. Yeah.
And she knew that would be a unique name for sure.
I know, and me being the first one I'm like, okay, I think she had a lot of ambitions for the first child, because you just call her a very complicated name. The first fruit. I think it's the first fruit.
The first fruit.
Yeah.
We are grateful that she went that extra mile.
I know.
Yeah. Because it's a conversation starter all on its own.
Yeah.
It can get you to rooms you'd otherwise not get into. So at Vas Concepts Kenya, what exactly do you do?
So Vas is a short form of my name, and Concepts, it's technically an idea or an ideology. So when now I brought this concept together of me being in tech, so I was like inspired by the boundless potential of the universe and the metaverse. So I was like, what can we do better? And that's where I now chimed in now my interest in tech. So what we do is branding, social media management, virtual assistants, web development, and we also build softwares for small to medium businesses, management softwares. So that's what we do. And we've done a couple of projects in collaboration with, I have a small team, but also collaborate with the existing teams.
Okay.
Yes. Majorly, I was focused on consultancy, client acquisition, and sales in general, because I have a BA, which I got from Kenya Institute of Management, Managers in Training. So that was my first course. Then currently I'm doing my BAT, Business Information Technology, at Management University of Africa. So that's where the correlation between what I'm doing and what is out there in the market, in the entrepreneurial world.
Merge and come together. You find that most tech people, like tech people, you think if you are really good in tech, you're probably in big organizations, not necessarily starting an organization. And if you're starting an organization or a company, then it's like a tech company fully, and you don't get to really interact and connect with people. And also we think that you are swimming in money. Like, kama wewe ni tech, it's synonymous with money. Is this something that is in our brain? Because you guys raised 50 million, $100 million, like figures that do not make sense. Is that the reality on the ground?
Well, it's doable, but on my side, not really. So I observed a niche where a lot of tech entrepreneurs majorly focus on the big companies.
Yes.
And for my company, we've specialized on startups and small to medium businesses. So when we say startups, they're companies that are working with a capital of, let's say, 200K, 500K, 100,000. So for them not to bring a tech personnel in on board, you definitely don't think you'll get, like, let's say 10% of the initial capital to now create the systems. So it also depends on your motivation. Mine is more of impact, social impact. And yeah, the fulfillment of, we did this as a team. I did this. I took part in creating this, not necessarily... a lot of people want to work with big companies, which I also do when that time comes. But we also want to start from somewhere. And yeah.
Awesome. I now wonder, for you, did you start out in tech? No, you said you started your BA in?
Yeah, business administration.
In business administration.
Yeah.
And then now, was it that you had to pivot to tech, or is it because you were interested in that? What was going on there?
Okay, so I'm a certified social media manager from Riara, and a certified virtual assistant from Africa Leadership University. So those were my main, let's say, my main startup ideas. So merging with what I had gained with business administration, all that is inclusive of marketing, accounting, a lot of admin work. So I was the founder and client acquisition personnel. So when there was no need to grow, because growth is inevitable, we now had to bring on developers, designers, and that's what now brought this whole idea. So initially I started off as a social media manager and a virtual assistant. Then along the way, we now adapted the others. So my let's say pivot to BIT, it's the need to understand what I do, because sometimes I'd go sell something and you're like, sometimes you're not like quite aware of what are you selling, and a client will ask you something and you're like, can I confirm? And so you look like you don't know what you're doing.
Sure.
So the need to, and life is a journey where we learn every day. So there was that need to grow. And also, since I look at Vast Concept as a long-term investment, so I have to really get good at it as the founder and the vision bearer, because it's kind of my baby. So if I don't put in the work, no one else will.
Yeah, awesome. When an entrepreneur says like this is my baby, you can tell that they are putting their all into this business or into this concept or this idea that they have come up with. And it makes me wonder, is this something that you have grown with? Is it something that you saw happening, like were people entrepreneurs around you? Or where did you even start thinking, I can actually be an entrepreneur. I want to empower young people and I can do it as entrepreneurship. Where did that even come from?
Okay, so the concept of not calling it a baby, it's because it needs a lot of work. And I'm a mother to a 6 years young handsome man. So the work that I've put for the 6 years, it's synonymous to the work I'm now putting in for my company in terms of psychological welfare, emotional, financial, physical, the time and everything. So for my entrepreneurial background, my mom was an entrepreneur. I think I'm the fruit of entrepreneurship, because before I was born, she was previously employed.
Okay.
She worked as a front office manager. So after she gave birth to me, had to do a few things here and there. Now she ditched employment and now went into being self-employed. So yeah. Then I remember when I finished my high school, then a few short courses here and there. There is a time I worked with an NGO. Do you mind if I mention the name?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I worked with an NGO, a program. The program was Tumikia Mtoto program.
Okay.
It was funded by the USAID in conjunction with Now World Vision. So then I was a facilitator and mentor, and I was training on entrepreneurship and financial accounting. So from there, we were working majorly with young girls, adolescent girls and young women from the age of 9 to 24. So we were training, like intensive training, because for us, we also went for training before we started. So now going to Kienda kwa ground, and we are meeting like these young girls and women, and we have to train them. And after that, they have to be assessed on the progress we've done on training. It was such a huge impact we made on the society, and it's actually pushed me to now do better. Then after it now happened that before the elections in 2022, NGOs, I think they went on a hold because they didn't know how the expectations or how it will evolve. So after that, I now went into employment. I worked for since then up to last year, 2024. And it was fulfilling in terms of salary, but in terms of purpose, it wasn't. I would get the salary at the end of the month. Then when it is like the next month, mid-month, I'm like, no, the money is over. And I'm like, okay, then what am I? So I feel drained.
Yeah.
I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I also have, I don't know if it's... and when people call it able differently, in a way that I love talking a lot.
Okay.
I think it's the authoritative nature of me being a firstborn. So in that role that I was doing, I was barely talking. I would like work for 12 hours without talking. I only talk when I'm talked to. So
what were you doing? Were you in accounting?
No, I was not in accounting. Actually, it was something totally different. I was looking after a child who was it's more of home care. So the child was had eye cancer.
Okay.
So the eye had been removed, was given a prosthetic eye. So I was taking care of the child full time. And he was not talking.
Oh, he was not verbal.
Yeah, he wasn't. And I tried to train him how to speak, but now the parents were not there. So it's me and the boy alone. So I'll talk in the evening when the parents come. So it was so traumatizing. As much as I felt I was doing something right, but at the end of the day, there was not fulfillment. So I was like, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to stay here? Because I was also not in the country. And I was quite traumatized because I also left my son at a very tender age. So I was like, I need to go back. What do? I started now learning these online courses.
Okay.
I did SMM. I did a VA, that is virtual assistant. Then after now I came back, I'm like, let me put my skills into practice.
Yeah.
Yes. Then now went back to uni. So that's the need for now getting into employment, and the fact that I don't think I'm cut for employment. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried being employed, and I feel like I'm more productive when I'm thinking, not being told what to do at this at this point and this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also I'm a visionary being. So I love to start things and see them flourish. So in a room that I'm not given the opportunity to do that, I feel like I'm chained.
And I get you, because we've had guests who have mentioned the importance of, understanding your why, first of all, and also having like the awareness of self. Who are you? What do you do that you do very well? What would you want to, give most of your time to? What could make you money? And being aware of yourself is like a gift to yourself. So you're saying, this is not something I can do. And someone also mentioned that being employed is a skill. Sometimes you get into employment and think, since someone is telling me everything to do, then like all I need to do is respect authority, show up on time. Yes, this nitty-gritty things. But in real sense, it's a skill. It's a skill that you're building on because not everyone can be employed. Like, it's a skill build.
Yeah.
So getting to know that, yes, I've built this skill and I don't think this is for me, because from 2022 to 2024, those are 2 years you're employed, and you didn't leave, you didn't quit. Even as you missed your child, that's already shows you have an element of that skill that you've built over time. Just that isi yangu.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I listened to a certain podcast. I don't know if it's right to say this. So they say that a salary is a drug that they give you for you to make you forget your dreams. I don't know if it's true, but that was a wake-up call to me, because I was looking at the visions that I have for my life, and the salary that I was being paid, it was barely enough. It could cater for a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you'd not feel fulfillment, and you'd be like, 5 years from now, do I still want to do this? And bills keep on growing.
Yes.
Then my son was like 4 years. Right now he's 6 years. Schools are getting expensive by the day. I have personal needs. I'm also a firstborn in our family. So my family expects a certain support from me. So I was like, is this something that I really want to do in the long term? And I was like, I don't think so.
And I love that even as you were employed, because you had this time in your hands, you decided to do something with it. You learning SMM, social media management, and being a virtual assistant already showed that you were not just sitting and thinking, sasa ni nini naenda kufanya, ni nini ingine naweza tengeneza nao pesa. You are finding these ways, and now deciding to use that to build a company is already so awesome.
Yeah, and I started them online. And even my first clients that I worked with from abroad were online, people I never met. So there was that need of, kumbe this thing can be done, because currently I'm operating virtually. I've not yet set up an office, which I'm hopeful I will 2026, but I've seen how great it can be, and fulfilling and even freeing, to a point that you can do your things and still work at the comfort of your own house. And that's something that it's rare. It's rare in the employable world.
So where did you take these courses? If someone is looking at you and thinking they would want to take that, where did you take these courses? And also, where were you finding these clients?
Visually online. There are platforms where you get online jobs. Also, I made use of LinkedIn a lot, because you'd see jobs that are posted there with no high requirements, experiences, and I apply there. Majorly for other job postings that are virtual were kind of discriminatory, that I didn't like them. But majorly LinkedIn, and now with LinkedIn, there are also referrals. Actually, it's something that I've worked with for the longest are referrals, because even currently working in Kenya, most of the clients that I'm now working with currently are people who are referred to me by people I worked for previously. So
Okay, good. It's good to know that once you work for someone, then you're likely to be referred, and it's way easier when you're referred, because then someone knows the work that you're giving.
There is this client. He came from Dubai last year, and we worked together on some project. So when he came to Kenya, he was like, Vas, I came to Kenya before him. So when he came, he was like, he knew that I'm already in the country and he knew what I was doing. So he was like, I have some money that I want to invest in hospitality, and I want to open restaurants. Will you help me with branding? That was actually my first big client with branding. So I was like, we went to view the place. It was being renovated, paint and all. So he now showed me his vision. He had a template, like a portfolio of what he wanted. And my work was to make it now happen. We worked on his menus. We worked on his, he knew that he wanted to offer Kenyan and Somalian cuisines, but he didn't know the exact meals, the exact pricing. So he gave me the work, and go do your research. I want a menu, send it to me. Then after that, we can verify and now go forward. I went, researched for all Kenyan meals that can be offered in a middle class setting. middle to upper. So I made the menus for the cocktails, the coffees, the smoothies, the main meals, the kid menu. So when I gave him the Excel draft, he was shocked. He was shocked. And now I had not to now go sit down with my designer, and we made a very good menu. When I brought it to him, I was like, we don't want to change anything. I just want menus. So we did his first batch of menus. We did now for launching. We did menus. We did the uniform for the staffs, table numbers, and name tags for the staff. And we were like, he was amazed. So later on, within 3 months, he had opened other 3 chains of restaurants.
Nice.
He was a bit loaded, I'd say. So he has one in Umoja, 2 in Isili. One is in the other side of Isili. The other one looks like it's on the other side of Pangani. There is another one in town. Those are 4. So currently he has 4. And the 4 that he has, I've handled literally everything branding about his restaurant.
Nice.
So a friend of his is a Somalian. We wanted to invest in matters restaurant and hospitality. And when he went to his restaurant, he was amazed by everything: the menu, the decoration, the uniform, the staff uniform, and literally everything. And he was like, "Can you recommend me to the one who did this?" And he's like, "Come." And now the fact that now I think this is also something, a hidden recipe that I have. So I speak French and Arabic. So the guy was Somalian. So I think it's more of manipulative. I don't know, but it's manipulative in a good way. We were told that find a common ground. When I was doing business, I was told by a mentor of mine that find a common ground. People love a sense of reliability and relatability. So the fact that I knew Arabic, I'd speak to now the recommended clients, because his Kiswahili was off. His English was also a bit off.
You are using the advantages you had.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because he's Somalian, he only knows Arabic and Somali, and I know Arabic. So we talk on calls, whatever, in Arabic. And with that, we also developed his restaurant, and that is the branding part. We also take care of some of their social media platforms. We developed some of them, and also their websites. So it's actually a milestone that I'm so proud of. And also the fact that now I've pivoted to consultancy and training. It's an amazing thing.
I love that. Now that you're finding clients on LinkedIn, and you're also finding clients through now the referral system that you have created, I'm wondering, what did it take you to start? Like, once you had the training and you came back now to Kenya, you are out of the country, you came back to Kenya. How was that transition? Now from you coming from, getting paid, because sometimes we tend to glamorize the hustle of entrepreneurship, and it's not as glamorous, especially when you're starting out. And like, this client probably didn't even come during the first month of you starting. So we walk us through that journey of, I have now decided I'm not continuing with employment. I have these 2 skills that I've developed, and I'll keep on developing. I have 1 or 2 clients, and I know I can get more. When did it click that now this is a business and I'm going full on?
So I came back in July last year. And when I came back, my mom was like, "Okay, unarudi." I'm like, I don't think so. And what are you going to do? And she's like, "Can I recommend you to my friends who want people to work for them?" And I'm like, "Okay, please don't. If I need, I'll tell you." So the few savings I had, we actually paid bills with most of them, fees for my son, food, and a few necessities here and there. Then I got myself a laptop. So when I was working here, I was working with a phone.
Okay.
And it was, so the setup, I remember I was a caregiver there. So the setup there, they could not allow me to have a laptop because they'll assume, will you have time for the person you're looking after?
Yeah, you won't.
So I majorly worked with my phone at nights. Okay. So when I came, I got myself a laptop. And that was, I think, the starting point. The few savings I had, I just got myself a laptop and a mouse. And literally, I started with that. After I came to Kenya, I didn't find much of LinkedIn work because when I was there, I could with the location I'd get
Yes.
jobs close to that location.
Yes.
But now when you come to Kenya, now
It's a different
the
thing.
location has changed. When you now get these jobs, majorly utapata jobs zenye ni za Kenya ama East Africa, and now even getting them, it's another hassle.
Yeah. So
I hustled here and there, got a few things to do, matters that. Then in like 3 months I was actually even rethinking going back. And my mom was like, you know there is this thing that wanasema Gen Zs muna act irrationally, you don't even seek help or advice, you just wake up one day and you feel like you're quitting. And that is true. To some point I was actually agreeing with them, because now within the first 3 months after I came back, my savings are done, and I'm like, okay, what I thought would happen did not happen. Then now, by the time I wanted to give up and go back, now my friend now came, gave me that job, and it was life-changing. It actually made me get stable for a while. And now even me now going back to school, right now I'm in uni, it's thanks to that. Yes.
Interesting. So you can say that business has held you from that time, or it's because you got also other businesses as time progressed?
Yeah, so you see, I was a virtual assistant managing people. It's more of a PA that we work virtually than SMM. So currently there's been that saturation of social media managers, wamekuwa wengi, and others are charging half the price. And
what were you charging?
For a basic package, 30K.
30K?
Yes.
For a month?
Yeah, monthly.
Okay.
Yeah, we come to your location, shoot content, edit, post on your social media handles.
This is for SMM, for social media management.
Yeah.
As a PA?
No, for VA, for the VA was literally virtual. I've never gotten actually clients, Kenyan clients for VA. Yeah, I don't think Kenyan have adopted that as much.
All the time when I'm busy at my business, I think to myself, oh my God, I need a PA, I need a VA.
Yeah, and for you to have a PA, you want a physical PA. You don't want a virtual. Because you'll be like, this virtual PA, the only thing I have to schedule my meetings, reply to my emails, and you're paying them like, let's say 30,000 per month. You feel like it's a steal,
Exactly.
So Kenyans have not yet adopted and that's the point where I got with even say SMM. So for SMM, people feel like you come, like, let's say once a week, you shoot content, then you go schedule content, and now wait for the next week. So if people feel like, hii pesa ni kama nakupea ananibia, so it reached a point that clients found it really hard for them to pay 30,000 or let's say 60,000, depending on the package that they want. For you to manage their social media platforms. So now that's where I became creative with consultancy and training.
Yeah.
So are you a business person? You want to create content for your business. You come on board. I train you for a specific period of time, depending on the nature of your business. Then after that, you can now go manage your business. I give you a starter pack that is a strategy and how to go about it, the tools to use. Then after that, we can do the evaluations. You can book for consultancy calls and everything. So that's where we now reach with SMM. Kenyan market is crazy. In a good way and in a bad way. But yeah.
Interesting. So now that's when you pivoted now to just branding. And does it also involve now the managing? If it comes along within your branding, then you can do the social media management aspect of it.
Yeah. But that part, yeah. But currently we don't have SMM clients.
Okay.
We have clients that we train.
Okay.
Yeah. Then majorly now we do branding. That is branding, literally branding, all matters branding, signatures, signs, banners, uniforms, menus, literally everything branding and graphics. Then we also do web development and management softwares for companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. How much do you make in a month? And you have how many members of your team?
So we have 4.
4 members.
You included.
Yes. Okay, 4 is a good number.
Yeah. Because we have now to have a designer, a developer. Yeah.
And you pay them these packages of 30,000.
So what we do is we work on commission basis.
Oh, okay. Based on the work that has come in.
Yeah, because majorly I do the client acquisition. So I go source the client, bring them on board. So what I engage them on is the skills now. Like now the team I'm working with, I'm also partnering with a few friends of mine who are also doing the same thing. So let's say I want a website developed. Is it an e-commerce website? Is it an e-commerce platform? Is it a normal website, a basic website? So with that, we can now work on a percentage. Because remember, we don't have a physical office.
Yes.
So like one of my developer is in Nakuru, the other one is in Mombasa. Then I, together with another gentleman, we are the only ones in Nairobi. And we actually rarely meet. So we have like Google calls at night and everything. So we don't, and for now this work, it's a tricky one. You don't have a monthly salary because clients are not like repetitive.
Yes.
Some clients are one-off. So
like the one for restaurant, even if they want to engage you, where will they engage you?
Yeah, we've done menus for them. We've done uniform for them.
Yeah.
We've done name tags and table numbers. So when will they need us? Maybe next year when they want to revise their menu. And you say it's a one-off, you get some good amount you're paid. And now it's that. So for sustainability purposes, you have to ask yourself how you're going to go about it. You have to maintain your brand image. You have your personal expenses, and you have a team that you're working with. So with that, we now work on percentage basis.
Okay.
And depending on the scope of work. Yeah. So there's some months we are dry.
Yes.
Like literally dry. You don't even have one client, or you have just one consultancy client or two. Then there's some months you're booked. Yeah.
How do you go about the sourcing?
Client sourcing.
Yes.
Majorly I've worked with referrals, and I have an eye for business, I'd say, because there is this one client I went to the restaurant in town, and I noted the menus were lacking a lot. Then they have some other handwritten menu Apple Misho. So I was like, so I talked to the supervisor and I'm like, can I talk to the manager? And he made a meeting, and with that he told me, you could take this, go make it better, send me the design. And that's how I did it. Wow. So I'd say I am quite observative. I'd say I see problems and I try to find ways to solve those problems. Yeah.
Awesome. And now I'm thinking, because we had someone here who mentioned about the upcoming election and branding and how it positions people who are in branding. Are you finding yourself excited about these elections that are forthcoming? And do you find that there will be opportunities? Like, are you already seeing opportunities that you're leveraging for?
So for politics, I'm so passionate with politics because actually politics influence every aspect of our life. Yeah. I was quite active with the 2022 elections. Awesome. I was a long life member of Jubilee Party.
Okay.
So I did a lot of campaign for Nairobi, the proposed Nairobi governor, that is Igava, and also campaigned for my MP, Mark Murithi Mwenje. And yeah, a lot of others, Amos Mwago, Masiga Kuya. We did a lot of campaign at that particular time. But now, since I'm in another world and also working with a very close, I'm working with a presidential candidate. So I don't know.
No, you have to be excited.
I'm excited. No, I'm working on a consultancy kind of angle.
Yeah.
In terms of youth and women inclusion. But for branding, that's a whole other thing. Because, okay, the problem is this. We have personal interest and public interest.
Yes.
No, there's personal interest and work interest. So there is some level of personal engagement that is already existent. So if I'm to pitch now my company idea, it will sound kind of greedy in a way.
Yeah. But it's only women who think like that. Men would not even think twice. They would be there pitching, I have this branding company and even oversell. But you are here saying, oh, it would look greedy. Did they say it's greedy?
Oh my, you're giving me an idea.
They did not say it's greedy. It's you who's telling yourself these things. So I think the beauty of us as entrepreneurs or anyone who's an entrepreneur is that all you have to do is ask. Like there are only 3 options for an answer. It's either they'll say yes, no, or maybe, or wait, or whatever it is that they'll say. But then you have to continue. Like you'll go on. It doesn't mean your business will stop if they say no.
Okay.
But it would progress if they said yes. That is something to think about.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. You've given me homework. I'll think about that. Because I think women are a bit conservative in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's our nature.
It's our nature, which does not serve us, and we learn as you go. So you go for it.
Thank you. I will.
Hopefully it works out, and we see you behind most of the brandings, especially of this presidential candidate. Like you're in that position for probably that reason.
We grow. As I grow, my company grows.
Yeah,
I'm an amnagani.
Yes, exactly. Now I'm wondering if today you are to go back to July last year, because now that has been at least a year, almost a year, 6 months.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself? What would you do probably differently than you've done already? Are there those things you have learned over time? You're thinking, nikianza hata sijui why I did this. I wish I did this instead of this. Are there those things that you find yourself wishing you did better? Or since you now know better, you'd do better?
At first, I think I'll just get into it. Because when I left Kenya, you see that's OTC building. It had those green nets. That it was niyo kitambo.
Yeah.
So when I came back, it's a building imepakwa mpaka rangi, and shops are already operational, and I'm like, oh. So I came back to find a little shock. The way I left Kenya, it's not the same way in a lot of aspects, even in economic wise.
Yeah.
So there was that. Now I had to now sit down, try and adjust to now the new Kenya. And also, I have spent my life like 2 years in another country, speaking another language. And now I come back to Kenya and I'm thinking, I have to think before I say something, because now the language barrier is real. I have to now readjust myself to Kiswahili, English, and Kikuyu. Oh my, it was a hard one, and it really kept me off for some time until now I adjusted fully and now came back to my Kenyan spirit. The second thing is, as I started out, I didn't have a clear structure of what I wanted.
Okay.
I had this vision, but it was not on paper. It was not on concept. It was an idea, just there. You know how you have an idea deep down your brain, and you don't have it on paper. Haujafanya hata your strategic plan of how, if it works out, if it doesn't. So I just started. But if I would do it differently, I would have a clear structure and plan, and also a team from the onset, because even now I still outsource some services like branding. I don't have a branding machine, so I still go back to Koja and those areas and now search for these services. You get? So I have that problem with. I had that problem earlier with now acquisition. I need branded materials. Where do I get them? Where do I get them printed? You know, so. And sometimes I even delayed clients. Time management was a thing. I had, like, you see those calls you talk to clients, and I was almost fundi wangu, or I'm like, goja 2 hours, and tayo uko koja down there, and you don't have ata haujui utafanyiwa branding wapi. You have the materials, you have t-shirts that need to be printed, and you don't know where to take them, or you know here and here and here, but you don't know the best place to take them, the best pricing. So there was not that clear understanding of how to do things. I just started. I didn't do proper research, and I grew. But if I was to start again, I think I'd be at a better place now. Yes. And even in terms of finances, finances was a thing, because I didn't have money to start.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't have money to start. The few shillings I had were for my personal bills, you know. And there is also that that myth of wametoka majuu, so akona do, and you don't have, or you have it but you're trying to restrain it for other things, for the other occurrences, because now you're not employed. So if things go haywire, you have to have some backup plan somewhere.
Like your priorities are making sure that bills are paid, your baby's school is paid for, and food is always there. Like those are the main priorities.
Yeah. So even if you need to invest in something, you find yourself now holding back because if it goes wrong, what will be now your backup plan? You see, so finances was also a thing, and it still is. Even the fact that I've been in operation for a year, but I've not yet still set up my location. It matters that. Yes.
Interesting. And pricing, how was that for you? Did you just understand how to price, or how did you even go about that?
No one gets it right with pricing, because you'll be low and people will be like, hey, is it of the right quality? Because of the low price. You'll be high and people are like, it's quite expensive, and so is charging this amount. Then you'd be at the market price and hauna clients. So it's a struggle all in its own. You either price high or price low, or just price the market price. You'll still get challenges. And when we look at even the pricing cost concept, in when I studied marketing, we were learning about the pricing concept. You have to understand, and Kenyan market is different. Kenyan market, at a lot of companies like wanashindwa kupenetrate the Kenyan market because ours is entirely on its own. Yani ni kama tuko na planet yetu tu kama Kenya. Unlike other countries, for like, let's say skimming, when we want to, like, I want to introduce my product, let's say I'm charging 100 Gs. Then people when adopt to 100 Gs, I can now rewire my product price to 120 or 70 or 80. That doesn't work in Kenya. Then when we start at a low price, when you have not to add the price, you'll have to lose those clients. Because they'll not go up with you.
There's a likelihood you might lose some of them.
Yeah. So like the Kenyan spirit, it's a great one, but it's one for the books.
You have to really learn it. What could you say now is your like your niche? What is your target market?
My target market, it's majorly entrepreneurs, startups. I've not lost faith with startups.
Okay.
Because for startups, they have this idea, this vision, but they don't know how to implement it. And I think I'm best suited with that. Having experienced it myself, I'm at a better position to tell them, let's start with this. Let's build these systems from day one. Tusifungue a shop, hauna financial management system or inventory management systems, then when it comes to a place you cannot track your finances, you cannot track your inventory, you cannot manage your stuff. You get. So majorly startups and small to medium businesses. If I was to work with like bigger businesses, maybe on consultancy or contractual basis.
Do you find that there's that market you are seeing, like hizo gaps zenye ziko, and you're thinking, if I had the time and the resources, probably this would be the market I would go to? And I'm asking this in case someone is watching and thinking to themselves, I could get into this work, so where would I go? Like, they don't necessarily have to come to the startups and entrepreneurs, small and medium enterprises. Who are those people who you think, if things were to change now, you'd probably go to that target market?
Okay, so number one, Kenyans have a problem with, they want ready-made things. Sometimes we have to struggle to work with non-existent things for them to exist. When I majored in, actually most of my clients currently are in hospitality, restaurant, food and beverage. So when I look at existing hotels, some, leave alone the high-end restaurants that have already systems in place, the ones that don't, but really do need these systems. And I look at them at a point where, what if we made, because now I look at the let's say like the Vision 2030, the social impact pillar that was there was they had a mod for, or let's say a pointer for ICT infrastructure development. And when we're in 2025 approaching Vision 2030, we are not there as a country. When we were saying that, I remember when President Uhuru came into power, his ideology was tunatoka analog tunaenda digital. But when we look at where we are right now, we are barely there. We are barely there as a country. So we're not yet gotten there as a country in terms of IT. So can we try adopting IT systems in this, like our daily life? You see the way you have a calendar.
Yes.
And you know, this time I'm going to this day I'm going to this place doing this, you know. So if we have these softwares in our day-to-day lives, that we've set systems in place to run things, and even now with AI and automation, that we can say we can delegate, we can automate things. That is something we in every sector for the non-existent industries. I'd also look at schools, leave alone the high-end schools. Look at the schools that just the normal schools, aside from the public schools, the private schools, but that do not have systems in place. Like, it's a good school, you know it, but when you go on the Google, uitafute hawezi ipata. You know, maybe you'll find it on Facebook, but they don't have a website. We cannot get any information about the school online. So there are even hospitals. Like, it's those day-to-day things. You see those basic needs, the basic infrastructures that we have set in place, like food, shelter, hospitality, education. Like, if we start from there, we now automate. And when we look at the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 9, it talks about industry innovation. And now with innovation comes with IT for our country to, and even the global world to grow. For SDG number 9, we have to now integrate this in ICT structures in place to make sure there is that now we end poverty in our country, in our continent. So where can we start? Through technology. And it's the next big thing. I look at our counterparts in China, Japan, even leave alone the West. When you look at what they're doing with IT,
Rwanda, for example. Yeah.
Mono attack home. You know?
No, it's okay, because these are the point for us to learn. What are the best way to learn? We used to say it through experience. Now we are telling people have already experienced, you know, like you are here because you've experienced this journey, and learning from me is easier than for me to go and start all over again. Like, why would I not save myself 1 year and all the resources that I can use in that 1 year if I can just come and learn from you? Like, you're showing it as it is. And that is the same with even Rwanda. If you go to Rwanda and see what other young people are doing there in tech, then we are likely also to do that in our tech. Yeah.
And you know, it's the same comparison to when we were growing up. Your parent will tell you, angalia mtoto wa nani, and that nani is a neighbor huko, but hazi kuambia angalia kazini yako, because you'll feel attacked at home, you know. But I agree with what you're saying. We really need to put in the work. And even countries like Senegal and Burkina Faso, imagine they're doing it, and even our neighbor now, Rwanda, you know. And we really need to do a lot for our country.
I love you mentioning that we don't always have to look at what is already existing. Like, how can we make people see what is non-existent in their places of work, in their companies, in their institutions, that we can come and, you know, help them make it better. I love that. I really love that. Because hiyo shule yenye iko hapo karibu na wewe kwa kona, ni nini wako nayo?
Hawana hata website, hawana hata social media page.
Like, such small things. And you don't have to charge probably 30,000 venye unasema. If you don't have the full skill set, you can start with 10K and grow with this. And that's where you get now your first referral. Yeah.
And you know, like, for example, I was telling the school that my son was before he joined the one that he is right now, they did have they didn't have management softwares. And I go to schools recently, actually this last weekend on 18th, there was an open day at Makini. So for Makini, they're using Advatech. It's an advanced tech company, like a big company. And they have these management systems where as a parent, you don't have to ask, you just log in, the admission number for your kid, and any information you want about your kid is there. The kid has also, he can access, your child can also access that information, the teacher, the administration, you get. So I'm like, the same way we atisi tunapigiwangwa na mkuje after shule zimefungwa after 1 week mkuje report form. We don't have to do that. We are in 2025. You know, so if we create these systems and but now also the challenge with pricing is that for example hosting hata usiongele mambo mingi, hosting itself is expensive. So if we want to host with a reliable partner, we have to go into the pocket. Because even sometimes I charge a client for a website and they're like, hey, your pesa ni mingi sana. And mind you, we've included even hosting and a domain and literally everything is in there. And then I'm like, okay, do you want, we only charge for the service, then we give you the hosting partners and domains, you pay individually. Lipe. Now kunojo, it's an annual thing. You have to pay to now renew it annually. And they're like, okay. So we have also to understand that we don't have a lot of companies, reliable companies within Kenya.
That is also a niche that you're supposed to, get solutions for.
Yeah. And I think that's for the big fish. It's because you know, for example, I've done a short course with IP and IT law. That is now what do we call it? Now information technology and intellectual property. So now for intellectual property and IT, there is a law that governs how now when you collect this information you're going to handle it. So for you to be a system manager or a hosting manager, you have to now have like requirements. You're certified by the government, because how will you take with this information that you take? Where will you take it? Will you use it against these people?
Also data protection.
Yeah. So with now that's what is also hindering a lot of people to start with on that angle.
Yeah.
So we also have to understand. So for you to pay for a hosting, you also have to consider that kuna hizo protection rules, and they're also charging for that because they're also paying for certificates for the government.
Yes.
To now certify them, and they also have to go like a very huge process of authentication. So.
But it's still a niche that is yet to be.
Yeah.
It's a gap that needs filling.
Yeah, true. It does. So we need to put in a lot of work. And now that's the systems that our country can do. Because I went look at the models that they say we want to empower the youth. Now empower. Can you start with a simple thing like that one? Because you remember when they were saying they want to introduce computers in schools. How many schools have computers? At us to in the primary high school, you know, then they said we want to open ICT hubs in every ward. Do we have them?
Yeah.
So if we now start doing the work from up there, and also sisi tujitume up down here, we can now meet at a central point and grow our country technologically.
Yeah. I love those points. And if you are listening and you're probably in power at whichever level, sometimes we look and say, you're to your government, but it's also us in our different places where we hold some sort of power. Probably is you mentioning, we need to work with a young person to ensure that our social media is well taken care of.
Do you know how old our ICT CS is? Yeah. Topic of another day. There is a time we faced a lot of backlash on social media when there was this IT convention in China. Was it in China? I guess it was in China. And then there was a photo of our ICT CS and the CS for ICT in China. And there was like a 40 or 30 year gap between the two. And they're like, so we faced a lot of backlash. People online wa Kenya bana. And the way the online war is tough.
Yeah.
So we really need to do the shadow work.
And also, even as you're doing that, also making sure that all the other points in leadership, because CS is just one office, but there are so many other offices around the CS. Who is in those who's in those places, who is sitting in those rooms, who is in that leadership. Because then it doesn't necessarily mean that the CS has to be young, though that would help. But making sure that the people around you are people who, are fast and understanding what it is that we need as a country, as young people. Because the people who are going to drive this is probably not even us millennials. It's probably the Gen Z. So if we are going to put them in these places, have we created avenues for them to thrive? Because kama nashinda nikikuambia, as a country, we have the ability to have our own hosting platform, and you're not doing anything about it. Then why am I even there? Why am I even telling you these things that you're not bringing them to, to fruition? Awesome. I love all this. If a young person came to you now and they're at that point where they are figuring what they want to do, and tech is one area, and they're thinking probably I can start something around this to employ myself, to also employ other young people, or to, just provide opportunities for myself and other young people. What do you think are the steps that they can take for them to, get to a point where they're able to provide opportunities for themselves and other young people and have this as a business?
Okay, number one is just get your skills right, because that's the starting point. Get your skills right and know what's your drive, like what's driving you. Is it profits? Is it because you saw a social media manager on TikTok, I may buy CX5? Just know what's driving you there and how do you want to get there. Because what we have to be very honest with as people is sometimes it takes time. And it takes a lot of work. It's not something that is instant, not unless you're a magician. But just start with the skill sets that you have, with a few resources, just a laptop, good internet. You can start from there. You don't have to have an office. I've been operational without an office for a year. And now the need for having an office is because I'm now doing consultancy and training, and some people are not well conversant with virtual meetings and everything. So sometimes I meet clients at restaurants and everything. So there's that now need for having a physical office. But for starters, you don't need that. Just work with the available resources and your drive, your passion, and it will get you there eventually. Yeah.
And there are different skills when it comes to tech. It's not only social media management and virtual assistants. Do you have like 5 at the top of your mind that you can name that people can build their skills in?
Yeah, because we're also doing web development, systems development, we're also doing UX design, we're also doing coding. There are a lot. Depends on your level of understanding. Also, beginner level, there are like things you cannot just become a developer within a day or a month. It's something that goes to intensive training within a year or so. So yeah, we have a lot of things we can do, but I also advocate for let's start small and grow big. Because if you start big, you don't know how to deal with the small aspects in your field. But if you now start small and grow big, eventually you'll know how to handle clients, late payments, keep it, deliver on time.
Yeah, and I believe those are some of the challenges that you have encountered and been able to overcome. How do you do it? How do you do better now? Like when it comes to late deliveries or just deliveries, pricing, what has helped you become better at it?
So even earlier on, when I didn't have a big portfolio, it was word of mouth. So clients would feel hard to commit. So they'll tell me, when do ufanye job, ukimaliza ukuje. Then I now come with your work, it's already done, and we now have results now struggling for payment. But since I've built now my portfolio, we can say 60% upfront, then 40% upon completion. And now I give you a time frame. If it's a website, it'll take a week. A basic website, it'll take a week. If it's an e-commerce platform, it'll take like 3 weeks maximum. We do the the dummy for like 2 weeks. We give you see, you verify, then we finish, we do the finishing and everything. Then within the third week, it's done. So you had already paid the 60%. So upon completion, 40%, we give you the login details and management. Like we also do client support, 24-hour system client support. So that's the measures we now put in place. Payment, you just pay for 60% upfront, 40% upon completion. We agree on time frame, and also we also do after sales service. If we offer you a service and maybe you have concerns, you raise it with us. We work on them within 24 hours. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. I love that you saw an opportunity and you took it up and ran with it, and it's now bearing fruits. I don't know what dreams you have now for Vast Concepts Kenya going forward, and probably what young people should be looking out for. Can they reach out for employment? Can they reach out maybe even for training or mentorship? Yeah, but what are your dreams now going forward?
Our dream is to now, since we've now majored on, we've kind of pivoted to now offering the large-scale service that is now web development, software development, all that. But now for the others, we're doing consultancy and training. So we look forward to businesses, majorly startups and small to medium businesses who feel that they cannot be able to pay for that package, a basic package, that medium package, the silver package. And we're like, what can we do better? Come with the amount that you have. We train you. We give you a starter pack where we give you a marketing strategy. Like you get to understand your business, because you just start and you don't have an idea. You don't know your target audience. You don't know your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. So we now do that earlier on. We train you, and go do it yourself.
Awesome. That is the dream that you have, at least to have more clients coming in, and you're able to deliver no matter your budget. If it's training that you need, then you can get the training. If it's probably the services that you need, then you can get the service based on the different packages you have. Are you open for mentorship for people reaching out if you have opportunities for employment?
We are open to mentorship and training 24 hours, that's for sure. For employment, we're not hiring currently, but if we get to that point we want to hire, we have our website. You can just look it up, vastconceptske.co.ke. We also have our social media pages, and also my personal social media pages. So if there'll be need to hire, we'll definitely maybe put it there, out there. Yeah. But for training and consultancy, we are open 24/7, and you can come to us, we can come to you. Yeah.
How can they reach out? You have shared your website.
Yeah.
How else can they reach out?
My contacts are there at the website.
Okay.
Yeah. Just look at vastconceptske.co.ke. That's our website. It has our email. It has our company number.
Okay.
You can also look at my social media pages. That is Versitloghen Nyambura Muthoni. It also has my contact details there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for hosting
and for sharing. Your journey has been so beautiful, and I can't wait to see all that will come out of this. Keep going strong. They say at least when you hit the 3-year mark, that's when you know now hakuna venye tunafunga hii biashara.
Yeah.
So hopefully when you reach that point and you're still continuing strong, we can even bring you again just to hear of the progress.
Yeah, and you'll shoot at our office.
Yes, I would love that. I would love that very much.
Yeah.
And thank you so much also for being here. We appreciate that you took the time to learn. I hope this has been of value. You can start in tech. You can start with the skills that are easily found on different platforms. Like I did a course on digital marketing with ALX, and that's something you can look at. I know that is as an easy one, or AWS, Amazon something. Like there are so many options now. You do not have an excuse. So go ahead, learn a skill, get in there, put yourself out there, fail, but fail forward. As long as you're failing forward, that's all that matters. And you never know where your opportunity will find you, and that business might click. And you've shared so many opportunities that are already around us. Si lazima uangalie mbali, it's where you are. So what is around you? And that is where your bold path starts. And for sure, like I always say, your bold path starts now.